On today's show,
it's time.
Obviously, we don't all have Vecna to deal with.
Tell everyone why.
It's usually bad enough having to come out as it is. Just run. Please, just run.
I'm gonna swear, beat me out. But
if it took getting into that situation for them to be honest with each other,
they weren't right
they
for
really
each
shouldn't
other.
have been together.
From the big screen to your TV, everything that you love to stream,
Fun review
and nostalgia too.
It's the Sherrie and Jo Show. This review contains spoilers, so if you haven't seen Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 2...
Get out.
Get out! Get out! Get out!
Doom, doom, doom.
The end is nearing. Volume 2 is setting us up for the finale. However, with a mixed response both critically and from viewers, here is what we think.
Hello!
Hello!
And welcome back.
Welcome back to the Sherrie and Jo Show.
Wow. Well, that was a mixed bag.
Yeah, we've managed to watch the whole block of episodes twice now, so haven't we, since it aired? And I think it's been a bit of a mixed reaction from what we could see.
Yeah, it's not even Marmite. I think it's Marmite and everything in between. I don't think anyone will say it was the strongest volume or parts of a Stranger Things season. It's definitely in the the ones that are not best received.
I think it's fair to middling.
Yeah, it's
fair to middling.
We'll talk about first of all what worked well, and I think what worked really well is the development we've had for Will's character and with Robin's character as well. I think that the characters' story arcs for this season that have actually made the characters a lot more likeable and more understandable, and they're both growing so well. Is the two gays,
yeah,
and also Will finally coming out, which it's kind of been building to from season 1. They were saying they've been sort of putting it in there, and I think the way it was done, it made me cry. Obviously, being gay ourselves, it's something we can relate to. So it was. We all have our own coming out stories, and some of them don't go as well as what Will's did. Is that a realistic portrayal of what it was like in the 80s to be gay? Possibly not. Coming out stories probably wouldn't have been quite so easy at that time.
No, but it's an ideal world situation, other than the fact of the context where it's having to happen. Obviously, we don't all have Vecna to deal with.
Tell everyone why.
It's usually bad enough having to come out as it is without having all that pressure behind you as well.
And doing it 5 minutes before you're about to go into a battle for the end of the world.
Yeah,
I don't.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I don't necessarily think. I think Noah Schnapp did a great job, obviously, because he's out himself, and it resonated with him and the people. I'm sure the rest of the cast, it resonated with them as well. Hearing him talk about being gay and essentially coming out to them. I mean, he said that he had come out, but he hadn't come out to all the cast, and that some of them were just found out via social media. So I think it did bring a tear to my eye. I think what could have been done better is probably not have him come out 5 minutes before they're about to go into battle and have every single cast member pretty much in the room. It just seemed a bit hokey, and I know it was, and everyone coming up to him going, "Me too," or what was it, where they were like, well, I can't remember.
Yeah,
it did seem cheesy, and I think they were worried about it being cheesy, and they were right to. But at the time, I was still just like, oh. So I kind of, first time watching it, I kind of let that slide. But the second time watching, you just think, oh yeah.
I suppose better to get it over with all in one go, isn't it? And
yeah.
But at the same time, I just feel like I felt a bit sad actually. After I was crying because it was like, oh bless him. He's finally got the courage to do it, and he's going to take Vecna's power away over him, and this is all good. But I did feel a bit sad seeing some of the reaction on social media following this, that unlike the way that we've just said in the 80s, it wasn't likely that he'd get a good reaction from everybody in the room when he came out, that still in 2025, there's people out there that have to call it woke or just be homophobic blatantly in some cases, and I find that really sad that there's been, you know, we hope to progress through the decades, don't we? But here we are.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say on that. But I did find that a bit sad. But finally, hopefully now, Will has got all the pieces of his puzzle in place, all his demons dealt with, where he can now go forward and have his full power. Absolutely loved Max and Holly.
Yeah, that
and
worked
this relationship,
really well.
yeah.
That worked really well. Max and Holly's, the two actresses were absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant.
Sadie Sink's always good. Nell Fisher, though, she's an absolute little diamond, isn't she?
She is. I mean, what a brilliant casting. I mean, that's something I think the Stranger Things has done so well, is the casting of them. It's been spot on, and I think she's done a sterling job. And yes, Max. Oh my gosh, yes, Max is back. My God.
Watch it. And at the end, I've seen lots of memes about this in the recent days. You know, when she gets to the portal.
Oh my dear God!
Just run, please, just run.
I'm gonna swear, beat me out. But all I was thinking, I literally said it while I was watching it. It was one of those classic moments you get. I was totally doing the stereotype and going, run, run, run.
Just run.
Run up the hill.
Will screaming his head off at you, run.
Yeah, I didn't want her to run, and yeah, I do think it did long out that bit. But what was brilliant was the Demogorgon scene, the Jurassic Park rip-off, whatever you want to call it. I did actually like that, and I loved, you know, Karen Wheeler coming out.
Oh, again,
badass.
Karen.
Yes, again, she's doing it again for them. And although people were saying, how does she have the time to do that? Who cares? Who cares? Let's suspend our disbelief. Karen just did it. Oh, it was so great.
She didn't have the time to do it because Robin put that message over the tannoy. She heard it.
She's gone straight down.
In that time, she's gone down because Robin said where they were going.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
she had the time.
Yeah. While they were sorting themselves out, getting downstairs and hiding and everything, she was.
It was definitely the best part of Volume 2. So I'll give it its dues. I love that bit.
I love that they're giving Karen her moment. It's brilliant.
Yeah. So we've talked about what we liked about this volume, but now we have to get down to what didn't work, and there was quite a few parts that just didn't work.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think that we're in the part of the show now where we're tying up loose ends and we're seeing the sort of end of character story arcs already. So we've got Jonathan and Nancy's story and their relationship issues.
Oh, now this seems like it took forever. The scene on the table.
It might sound a bit harsh, but I felt like it was a bit drama workshoppy at the beginning of the interaction with them on the table. But they picked it up. I'll give it that. I don't know if it was the writing or their performance.
It's
but
the
at the
writing.
beginning, I felt like it was. It just jarred a bit with me.
I don't think it was the performance. I think it's the writing. It's a bit of, and I don't like the Clash, and I didn't like this, and I didn't like that, and I get it might be a kind of comical moment, but at the same time, it didn't work. And then they finally get to the meat of it and talking about how they really felt and how they're just acknowledging they're not right for each other. And the unproposal was touching, it was moving. I just thought that it just was too long.
It was too long, and also I just felt like it's a bit. If it took getting into that situation for them to be honest with each other,
they weren't right
they
for
really
each
shouldn't
other.
have been together.
Yeah, it's a life or death situation. Now I'm going to be truthful.
Yeah,
I never loved you. Bye. And I really thought one of them was going to die. It was awful. I felt like it needed one of them to die.
And
that's terrible.
When they stood up, when the floor had turned solid, and they were showing all that relief and happiness that they'd survived it. I thought that at that moment, that's when they were going to the floor was going to drop and we were going to lose one of the characters. But it didn't happen. And I thought, maybe it would have been awful, but at the same time, it would have been a real moment in it.
Yeah, especially because Jonathan was wearing the full T-shirt that everyone thought he was going to die. What also didn't work for me is Dustin and Steve's relationship and Steve's anger towards Dustin. It's just not it doesn't seem quite right for Steve's character. They've kind of made him into a Steve the douche again. And I don't think he would be that harsh with Dustin. I don't think when he saw Dustin all beat up that he'd be angry that he's kind of poked the bear with those, the bullies, but I don't think he would have been like just so cold.
Yeah, he's been super harsh with him, hasn't he?
I mean, the guy is busted up bad, and I know that he's said he's fallen off his bike, but Steve would know that wasn't it, and there's just it's like there's no care there. And it's just carried on into volume 2 until they've sort of bonded towards the end. But it took a long time to get there, and I just don't think it was earned. There's just no reason for it.
Yeah, you felt Steve's character's regressed a bit.
I did, yeah. I said he's just regressed back to being a douche, like with the thing that's happening with him and Nancy, and he's like trying to chase Nancy even though she was with Jonathan, and all the macho stuff that's going on. And it's like, look, we've just spent all these seasons getting Steve out of that and loving the character, and you've just regressed him back, which they're always doing finales. I don't know why they like to regress characters, just to cause a conflict where it just wasn't needed. Yeah. It would have been so much better for that scene where Dustin, pulls him back from the step ladder, where there's that ladder and it's falling down. And if he'd have just been on there, he would have died, literally, like Eddie did, unnecessarily died. And it's just like he's holding on to him. And then it got all that emotion pouring out. And imagine how much that would have hit home for Steve if they just had that normal relationship that they still had. Steve could have just like understood and held him a bit more, and it just would have bonded a bit better. And I think because they already had that jarring conflict, it didn't hit home the way it could have done.
No, I agree. But
Dustin's been fine. I think Dustin's acting exactly how Dustin would act with Eddie dying, and how he's been feeling. I don't think there's anything wrong with Dustin's development. It's purely on Steve's side, I think.
Yeah.
And that's down to the writing. For volume 2, it just wasn't as good as it's been in other seasons. I don't know. Would you agree?
I think in parts, but the problem with this program is it sets such a high bar. It is ridden on this wave of success, and I think it's really difficult to match up to that all the time. And you see in other episodes, in other seasons, this happens where there's sort of ebbs and flows of, what the quality and how well it works.
I mean, the actors themselves have said they love the finale, and episode 4 was the strongest, and I would agree that episode 4 was the strongest, and if they say episode 8 is the strongest, I've got faith in that they can bring it back round.
Yeah, I think this is always a problem for writers, though, when they're coming to the end of a series. It's like they know they've got to wrap everything up. They've got to give a sort of tidiness to the ending in whatever, conclusion it's all going to come to. So the writing's got a direction, a definite direction once they've decided what the ending is, and it's how they're going to get there in this limited amount of time. Whereas when they're writing at the beginning of the series, and they envision hopefully that they'll run for a while, they can let their imagination go a bit more and like, oh, let's go this direction, let's go that direction, and see where it goes.
Yeah, it's always a thing where you've got a conclusion, and they've had that conclusion in their mind since season 1. Kind of.
But it's here now.
Here now.
We've got to get everything to fit into this time scale that we've got left.
And I'd say all could be forgiven with a good finale. That's what I'm going to say about this season. All can be forgiven with a good finale.
Yeah, we don't want no Game of Thrones situation or no Killing Eve situation with this. This has got to be good.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch Game of Thrones, I'll be honest, and knowing the ending wasn't that good, it stopped me watching it anyway.
It's awful when, fans have been dedicated for years with a series, and then the finale ends up being absolute trash and just ruining the memory.
I will mention one of a bugbear I've got about this. I think this is probably throughout most of the season since season 3, is the wigs. They've been chronic. Some of it does take you out of it. When I understand the 80s had mad hair, totally understand it, but at the same time some of them are so clearly wigs, it's so bad it takes me out of a moment. And I think Jonathan and Nancy, I don't know, I'm assuming it's a wig for Charlie Heaton or just a hairstyle choice, but I think it's a wig, and I believe it's definitely a wig for Natalia Dyer. And their wigs in that scene on the table did make me smirk. So that's not their fault either. But, you know, oh, bless them, that scene. Never mind. We'll move on to our rating. Right, so what rating are we going to give Volume 2? I feel like I don't want to, because we've got the final, we've got the finale, and it might mean that some of the stuff we thought about Volume 2 might get answered in the finale, and we'll be like, oh, we've been a bit harsh.
I'm going to give it a 4.
You giving it a 4?
Yeah, I'm giving it a 4. You know, the first volume was a 5 for me. This is a 4, and that's based purely on the fact there's been a few clunky moments in it. I've loved lots of it, but there have been a couple of clunky moments in it for me, so I'm giving it a 4.
See, I would give it a 4.
And even with those clunky moments, these episodes of TV are much better than a lot of the rubbish that's on television at the minute.
True. I would give it a 4, but then I gave season 3 a 4, and I think Volume 2 has been worse than some of season 3 by a country mile, and I'm hoping it's gonna. Ooh.
What are you gonna do?
Do I give it a 3?
Oh.
Do you know what? For Volume, I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna give Volume 2 a 3. And saving grace for those 3 stars was the Demogorgon scene and Noah Schnapp's acting for that Will's Coming Out scene, and Holly and Max. It's all been good. So it's a fair score, an average score. So I'll say I'm being mean, but I'm not being that mean. I could have given it a 1 or a 2, and I didn't. I'm giving it a 3. But for Stranger Things standard, that was a low rating from me. Volume 2. Let's just get to the finale.
Wah, 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 wah.
For predictions.
Ooh,
For the finale.
What's your predictions?
Right, my first prediction is about the Mind Flayer. We've kind of had the cave incident where it stopped just short of showing Henry's moving into the Dimension X, which is what they're now calling A, or the Abyss, when Dustin did his little drawing.
Yeah, where he's living in his pain
Where
tree.
he's living, where he's got all his
tree.
pain. I don't know why it sounds. I don't know.
Buffalo Bill.
That's Buffalo Bill. You don't know what pain is. Yeah, that. They're in the Dimension X, and I do think we're going to get a big reveal that he isn't. No, Vecna isn't the big bad guy. It is the Mind Flayer's been controlling him all along. I feel like the children are fueling what is going to be the big bad monster. They're at kind of like the heart of it, maybe. So I feel like it's kind of alien-esque, isn't it? Like they're the little things, but what we're going to find out is there's a big, massive monster in Dimension X. That'd be great, wouldn't it? So they think they've got rid of Vecna. Oh no, he's not the one they needed to get rid of. It's the big Mind Flayer thing, the big pot that was just those big, massive particles that.
Yeah, so he's just the general. He's not the.
He's the general. He's not. He has his soldiers.
The mind behind it all.
I reckon we're going to get the Mind Flayer. I think there's going to be a big bad monster there. And my next prediction is that we are going to get the origin for Vecna as well. So going along with the Mind Flayer thing, I think they will return to the cave. Maybe we will get a bit more of the first shadow play elements coming into this final, especially if they're going through Vecna's mind with Callie and Eleven going through there. We might get a little bit more of that. Maybe not too much, because they'll still want people to go and see the show, so they're not going to reveal everything that happens in the show. But I do think we'll get a bit more of the backstory. I hope we do. If we don't, they could have really fit that into Camazot's episode.
I suppose it doesn't really matter if we do or not at this point, does it? Because the main thing is
Vecna might help them. Ooh, what if Henry Creel decides to help Callie and 11, 8 and 11, 8, 11, 1, and they're all the numbers, aren't they? Actually come together and help. Ooh,
don't know.
That would be a nice little twist. Vecna actually helps.
You never know.
You never know. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah. I don't think 11's going to die. I think there's going to be a way around it that they're going to find, because it's just been so heavily signposted the fact she's going on practically is 8 from the beginning. Really, is we've got to stop this. Killing Henry's not going to sort it out. We've got
She's
to
right.
She is
To a
right.
point.
It's perfectly logical what she's saying and reasonable, but at the same time, it's like, well, are they just going to do that then? Because they've just been going on about it for ages. Practically every conversation between them has been about.
But
leading
do you
up to
trust
that.
Carly's motive? Is that what she
No,
really wants?
I don't think so.
Oh, you with a hopper and thinking there's more to Carly.
There is more to it.
To
I
8
think,
than what
but-
we see.
Okay.
8's got to go. Carly's got to go.
Charlie might die.
Yeah. 11's going to go.
I think.
Anything
I
that...
don't think Henry's going to die. I think.
Of course Henry Vecna's definitely dead.
No, I'll tell you for why.
But
Because
how can he live?
no, listen. The Vecna law that we saw to do with Dungeons and Dragons, there's a hand and eye left over.
Oh, yeah.
Are they going to just leave us dangling a little bit with what's happened with Vecna because of that?
Be like Ming the Merciless at the end of like Flash Gordon.
That hand
There's just like a little
crawling
ring there. A little bony hand going.
like it.
His left hand there.
Yeah, because they
And
make
the
a big
eyeball.
thing out of his bigger hand. So maybe the bigger hand's left over for that. I don't know. I think I think Hopper's going to die.
Hopper, yes.
I think he's
Hopper's definitely
escaped
dead.
death too many times.
I also predict a Murray death because Murray's kind of. I feel like he reminds me a bit of Randy Quaid in Independence. Have you ever seen Independence Day? And towards the end, where he sacrifices himself, doesn't he like float the hole in the? I don't know, there's a weakness in I can't remember much about it, but I feel like there's a weakness in the ship and he goes up it and it boom and blows up the big bad ship. I feel there could be an element of Murray going up into the abyss,
A bit
as they
sort
call
of
it.
gung-ho.
Gung ho with a helicopter because they keep talking about chopper, don't they? And he's got the explosives to go up there and blow up the mine flare maybe. But if they're going to go for a real shock one, I think Steve would be the one that would go. As a shock value because he's such a fan favourite. But I don't know if they want to do that.
They better leave Joyce at Noah as well. I can't be dealing with Joyce dying.
No, I don't think Joyce will die.
She's been through too much, bless her. Right from the beginning, she's just been a worry bead all the way through.
Joyce could be having a cup of tea and a couple of biscuits while they're up there.
She felt like she was a bad single mum, got, trying her best to look after her kids. And look what's happened. Her kids have...
Yeah.
Look
at all they've been through.
The kids have been involved in trying to save the world, fighting off these disgusting monsters. She's a bit harsh on herself.
Yeah, well, let's hope that Will doesn't die and that Robin doesn't die so we don't get the bury your gaze trope happening.
Oh, no, I can't be doing with that either.
Lucas as well. I mean,
can we not? Can we just not?
Let's have a few minorities live.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. Just leave the minorities alone in this, please.
Let's see what happens. But whatever happens, I think we're going to enjoy it. I feel like it's going to be good. It might not be what we expect. So I'm all up for it. I don't want to beat any of my theories to be right or wrong. I just do it for a bit of fun. But let's fingers crossed. It's going to be good. We're going to enjoy it. Let's buckle ourselves in and get ready for the ride.
Yeah, I can't believe it's the end. It's making me feel quite emotional. It's so many years of viewing.
But Joe, it's time.
It's time.
It's time, Joe.
It's time.
Well, that sounds more like Yoda then from Vecna. It's time, sure. Time it is. Let's go. And saying that, it's time for us to go, yes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
From the big screen to your TV, everything that you love to stream,
Fun review.
and nostalgia too.
It's the Sherrie and Jo Show.